Hello, Geek here from Geek Plan. Are you trying to lose weight but not seeing results? It's time to join Geek Plan, a weight loss plan that's easy, effective, and economical. Here's how it works. You send me 400 pounds and I'll send you the Geek Plan schedule. It's a book with just one page in it, which says, "Stop fucking eating!" Simple. Join Geek Plan today and lose pounds, hundreds of them.
Will you do the songlines announcements? Please.
Hello, Geek here, Chief Executive of Radio Kershaw and Andy's fashion advisor. We are cock a hoop to have Songlines magazine as our media partner. That means they give us a free advert in every issue in exchange for this exciting announcement, which I know you all enjoy because it's the best bit. Songline is the only magazine which brings your music from all over the world. And with every issue, there's a free cover mount compilation CD containing tracks from the best of the new release. Songlines also just look nice when you leave it lying around. To find out more, go to songlines.co.uk, and those of you who take out a new subscription to Songline can claim a 20% discount by typing in Kershaw when prompt to do so. And now, over to that one-man warrior for the real music, my friend and yours, Dr. Andy Kershaw!
thought time was just a joke. And now the feeling's just the same, over and over again, over and over again, my love. Over and over again with you. Over and over again, my love. Over and over again with you.
Yeah, Neil Young, of course, with the Mighty Crazy Horse, recorded live in the studio. Well, actually, it was a shed on Neil's ranch. In 1990, they did that for their Ragged Glory LP, and the song was Over and Over. And before Neil and the Horse, it was Saharan Tuareg guitar hero Bombino from Agadez, Niger, with a piece called Oulin or Ulan from his 2018 album Deran. Hey, our Dolly, my daughter, bless her, has bought us tickets for us to go together to see Neil Young in Hyde Park in London on the 11th of July. I told you in the last programme, I think it was, that she's recently, at 26, Dolly, started to recognise and appreciate real music. And on her visits to see me here in Todmorden, she now finds my record collection fascinating. And she loves Neil Young. And also, she's known all her life that I adore him. So when his Hyde Park concert was announced, she thought she'd surprise and treat her dad and take me along. Oh, she knows I don't have the money to buy a ticket myself, so she stepped in and she says she'll also buy me a return train ticket to London. Thank you, sweetheart. That means the world. And I'm really looking forward to going along together to see him. And I guess I'll see a few of you there as well. And it's not just Neil on the bill, it's Neil Young and Van Morrison, both on one day, though I dare say not together on stage. I shall report back. Hiya, you're listening to Radio Kershaw. Live bluegrass and Appalachian music in the kitchen for you today from the Jaywalkers, a trio of very talented young musicians from Frodsham in Cheshire. They're coming up shortly. And also, Nigel Blackwell has very kindly sent us an advanced copy of the new Half Man, Half Biscuit masterpiece. It doesn't disappoint. So we'll have a couple of tracks from that very shortly as well. But first, prayer for the day with Prince Farai.
Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of the sinner, nor sitteth on the seat of the scornful, but is delighted in the law of the Lord, and his law do he meditate day and night. And he shall be like the tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth fruit in due season. His leaf also shall not wither, but whatsoever I do it shall prosper. The ungodly are not so. They are like the trough, the wind drive it away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the eye and eye judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the ways of the righteous, the ways of the ungodly shall perish. Wake up out of your slumber and answer your call. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of the sinner, nor sit upon the seat of the scornful, but is delighted in the law of the Lord God, and his night do he meditate day and night. And he shall be like the tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth fruit in due season. His leaf also shall not wither, but whatsoever I do it shall prosper. The ungodly are not so. They are like the trough which the wind driveth away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in his judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knows the ways of the righteous, the ways of the ungodly, we shall perish, y'all. The ways of the ungodly must perish, you know. And he shall be like the tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth fruit in due season. His leaf also shall not wither, but whatsoever it do, it shall prosper. The ungodly are not so. They are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in his judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the ways of the righteous, the ways of the ungodly shall perish. 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 Wake up out of your slumber and answer your call. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in his judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knows the ways of the righteous, the ways of the ungodly shall perish. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of the sinner, nor sit upon the seat of the scornful. For his delight is in the law, and every night do he meditate day and night. His leaf also shall not wither, but whatsoever he doeth must prosper. The ungodly are not so. They're like the chaff which the wind driveth away, so drive them away. I get to heaven, all my troubles will be over. Once I get to heaven, I'll be hanging out with the great Jehovah. And I'll probably quit drinking then, 'cause I'll be happy sober. Yeah, I do drink a little whiskey, and I'll take a little shot of wine. I know God don't forgive me. He did it time after time. So you worry about your soul and salvation, and let me worry about mine. I can. I'm trying to get to heaven, y'all, and I'm doing the best I can. But in order to get to heaven, you gotta go through hell every now and then. Listen here. All over the place. Oh yeah.
That's Robert Finley from Bernice, Louisiana, with a piece called Gospel Blues, and it's from his latest album, which is Black Bayou for Easy Eye Sound Records. What a terrible name for a label. It's the one owned by that bloke in the Black Keys. Still very much active, Robert Finley. He's made a handful of albums in recent years, and he's 71, so still very much a youngster as far as bluesmen go. In the middle there was South African gospel from the Holy Spirit's choir, Siaku Bonga, the piece meaning We Thank You, Lord, and that's the opening track on the compilation from Earthworks Records, South African gospel, according to Earthworks, Heavenly Choirs, and Gospel Stompers. And we started off there with Jamaica's Prince Far-I, the voice of thunder, giving us his herbally refreshed reading of Psalm 1 from his benchmark 1975 album Psalms Far-I, on which he intones 9 of the Psalms over deep and heavy dub rhythms, and it was reissued in recent years on Adrian Sherwood's Pressure Sounds label. Now, we're lucky enough to have been sent by the man himself, Nigel Blackwell, an advance copy of the new Half Man Half Biscuit album, All Asimov and No Fresh Air it's called, and I gather it's to be released on June the 15th. Nigel sent me an email a couple of weeks ago to warn me a copy was on its way, and he wrote, Andy, hope you're in fine fettle, you sound in good form on the latest podcast at any rate. I have sent you our latest racket. If it's not with you yet, it should be very soon, as I sent yours at the same time as I posted one to all the Garin. And he goes on, I may yet take out an advertisement in the People's Friend, as I believe we're now at that stage whereby some nursing home residents might be glad of the information. A couple of tracks then from the new album, starting with this one. Many of you will remember that carefree Cliff Richard hit from the spring of 1970 called Goodbye Sam, Hello Samantha. Well now, the biscuits bring us Goodbye Sam, Hello Samaritans.
I saw a badly drawn boy in a badly parked car with a badly grazed elbow. What can you do on a badly lit street? streets. I was badly in debt, badly in need of a goal at Field Mill. 4 draws, there's always someone let you down. 4 draws, if only you were still around. I eschew to find walk over hills, inspired to stay at home and fret about the sadness of the times. I used to get a thrill, and I fancy would still, if I caught our lamppost coming out to play. But the pavement's dark now, keeping energy down. The ever-present threat of misfortune is in town. Nothing left now except for gossip and vice. I've had me tongue tied to the pillory twice. Oh, to be a mouse on the floor of the granary, instead of living next door to the tannery. In someone else's song, this would be a bad dream. And I'd wake up now in the groves of Academe. Goodbye, Sam. Hello, Samaritans. 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 Store day, you're going to need a second mortgage. Whip crack away, it's record store day, so get yourself a second mortgage. There's a remix of their awkward fourth, outtakes of his difficult fifth, a lost recording of the bloke what died, an altercation in the queue outside. Oh, rock of my soul, it's record store day, so get yourself a second mortgage. Step this way, it's record store day. The bands are clearing out their spare rooms. If you want that in Battleship Grey, you'll have to sell the family heirlooms. Extortion on a level you can hardly conceive, tarted up in a fiberglass sleeve, that acoustic thing which nobody bought. Hey fellas, I've just had a thought, it'll all be okay come record store day, when I need to pay me mortgage. I do like an overpriced LP on record store day, 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 it's a shame about day, on record store day. I say, What's the difference between a horse and a cart horse on Record Store Day? One darts into the fray on Record Store Day. On Record Store Day. On Record Store Day. On Record Store
Oh, I do like to re-release with B-sides. There's two from the forthcoming Half Man, Half Biscuit LP, all Asimov and No Fresh Air, on Nigel Blackwell's own label, RM Qualtrough Records. First we heard Goodbye Sam, Hello Samaritans, and then Record Store Day.
Please sign up to be a patron of Radio Kershaw. Go to podcast page of Andy website for detail because Andy need to feed Bertie. Woof woof.
Yes, please do become a patron of these podcasts if you can. And thanks very much to those of you, the few of you, who've so far done that. And as Gig was advising there, just go to the podcast pages of my website. That's andykershaw.co.uk. And you'll see a button there, a sort of green logo that says something like Be My Patron on Podbean. Click on that and take it from there. The minimum charge is about £3.80, £3.90 a month because it's charged in US dollars, the podcast platform being an American company. And you'll see that they put the minimum patron subscription at $5. But you will be charged in your local currency. So in the UK, you'll be charged in pounds sterling. And as I say, it'll be about £3.80, £3.90, something like that. And only by becoming a patron can you get the full 2.5 hours of these programmes. If you don't become a patron, you're going to get cut off after an hour. So please sign up if you can. I'd be really grateful. Thanks very much. It's all going a bit south of the Mersey on today's programme. From Birkenhead with Half Man Half Biscuits, we now shuffle off down the road to Frodsham, the home of our live performers in the kitchen today. And they are Jay Bradbury on fiddle and lead vocals, Mike Giverin on mandolin, and double bassist Lucille Williams, the Jaywalkers. starters, those are the Jaywalkers with play suits, and that's Jay Bradbury on vocals and fiddle, Lucille Williams on the bass, and Mike Giverin on the guitar. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Very welcome.
From Frodsham in Cheshire. Do you know, if somebody had played me that without telling you who you were, they'd said you were from Noblick, Kentucky. Noblick, Kentucky certainly does exist. Every time I find myself in Kentucky, I make a little pilgrimage to Noblick.
There you go.
And have my photograph taken outside the post office that says, "Welcome to Noblick." I would have believed them that you sound so authentic and
That's very kind.
particularly, Jay, your voice, you must have made a study of Appalachian singing.
Yes and no, not studied it, just listened to it all my life. So in a way, yes, but not intentionally.
All your life? So were your parents?
Yeah, into country music. That's where it started, really, more so than bluegrass. And then my house backed onto a bluegrass session, which Lucy's family ran, and Mike attended. So that's kind of where we all met.
I think you've had the Helsby Bluegrass session.
Well, we've had some of them here. Yeah. So when I said jokingly on the previous programme, all the way from that bluegrass and Appalachian hotbed of Frodsham, I wasn't wrong. Really.
You're not wrong.
Go on, tell us why. Is it all because of this club, or?
Yeah, pretty much. It was started by Lucy's brother and dad. And Lucy's brother taught me to play fiddle, Mike to play mandolin. Very musical household, musical family, did a lot for music in that area, children playing, adults playing, and it's just kind of carried on from there.
So there's a lot more of you than just the three of you?
Trickle down, yeah.
Wow, great. And you're a genuine asylum seeker from Rochdale.
Yes, I'm Rochdale originally, but when I wanted to play mandolin, the only teacher I could find was Stu, who was based down in Helsby. So sort of once every 3 weeks, me and my dad would go have a lesson with Stu, and then we'd go to the session after the lesson. So that's kind of where I met these two.
And that's why you decided to move there?
Yes, that's the one.
Well, I'm sure we'll hear your mandolin playing a bit later on. That first song, Play Suit, did you write that yourself?
Yeah, that's one of mine. It's sort of a tongue-in-cheek look at if you're having a bad day, maybe putting on your favourite outfit will...
Put a swagger in your step.
Yes.
I always find that. Yes. I do. So, give us another. What have you got next?
We'll do a song called The Longest Day, which is a sad story of two people whose house is being sort of taken by some wildfires, but seeing the silver lining that at least, even on the worst possible day, they're still together at the end of it.
Right, another of your compositions?
Song of mine, yes.
Very good.
1, 2, 3, 4.
short years ago, they said that 2 degrees can never be. But here we are, just you and me.
The Jaywalkers live here in the kitchen. The longest stay was that?
Yes.
It was, yeah.
Very good. How long have you been together now as a trio?
A trio, 15 years.
Wow.
We worked it out the other day. We've been saying 10 for about 5 years now, we've realised, so it's now 15.
I've got your latest CD on the kitchen table in front of me, The Jaywalkers Move On.
Yep.
I have to point out, that looks more like a chaffinch
It
than
is!
a
Good
jay.
birding.
Why did you not get a picture of an American jay?
The main reason is we had absolute crisis point when we were making the album. The music was ready, everything was in place. We didn't have a cover and it was going to print in days.
So you got a chaffinch and covered it blue.
Yeah. So we were looking for illustrators online who could do pretty much a rush job, really. And then we found this guy whose artwork we loved, and when we were looking through his portfolio, we found that. And we were like, oh my goodness, that's perfect, because the album's got songs about birds, it's got songs about the radio, so we were like, can we just have that? And it hadn't been commissioned for anything else.
Right.
So he'd just done it for fun, so he let us buy it, basically.
Well, more music from the Chaffinch Walkers. So you've been together 15 years, and in 2008, you came pretty close to winning the Radio 2 Young Folk Music Award.
Yes. I wouldn't say pretty close. Me and Jay as a duo got to the final, and Megan Henwood won it that year.
Oh.
But it's just a great great weekend.
Well, I'm pleased they recognise a form of country music as also folk music, because yours is a particular kind of country music, and it's one that appeals to me, because it's certainly not Nashville folk, and it's not Austin folk, which is, to me, another very identifiable category. It's more country and eastern than country and western, isn't it? It's more Appalachian. And I'm intrigued when you said that you learned that singing style from listening to records. Who in particular, which singers?
Female-wise, Alison Krauss and Natalie Maines. But then a lot of male country, so a lot of, the Highwaymen, basically, the four, Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson and Johnny Cash, with a bit of Merle on the side as well. Right. So it's that kind of, basically I'd love to be a male country singer, but my body does not allow it. So that's what I'm aiming for, really, so that's why it ends up as it is.
Sometimes people ask me, can you sing, Andy? And I say, only like Johnny Cash.
That's perfect.
That's true. It's
You're closer than I am.
Every time I open my mouth to sing, it comes out like Johnny Cash, regardless of whatever the song
there's
is.
worse things for it to come out like.
And do you listen to the old-time stuff as well? Like, for example, the Carter family or the Louvin brothers or people like that?
All that stuff. That was the step before all that, wasn't it?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So you'll have plenty of songs in your portfolio about death and murder.
Oh,
and
yeah.
things like Excellent. Pleased to hear it. Very good. This CD that I mentioned, the latest one, Move On, how many have you made now?
That's a really good question.
5. This is album number 5. Yes. And we had, I think, an old friend of yours, Joe Rusby, has produced this album.
Oh, right, Kate's brother.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, Kate's coming to do exactly what you're doing.
Oh, nice.
Because she's so busy. She's booked in for November.
Nice.
So, to get the new CD, Move On, and the others that you mentioned, can people get them from your website?
Yes, they can. Yep, jaywalkers.co.uk.
That's easy enough. Isn't
Yeah, that's it. You can get us there, and it's on Spotify, it's on Bandcamp, iTunes, all the usual places. But yeah, if you got a physical copy, visit our website.
Very good.
We'll send
All
you
right.
one.
Very good. Well, give us another. What have you got?
Do you want to introduce this one, Lucy?
This track, yes. So as you mentioned the new CD, we'll play the title track from it, which is Move On. CD's called Move On. This is called Move On. It's a song that Mike wrote. It's a kind of a breakup song, really, or that moment after a breakup when you are ready to move on with your life.
keep up with the time, but I know that I'm claim Jesus. First of all, he will answer when I call. For I know that I'm a soul, the sun set free. I'm God's own child by birth, highest honored on the earth. I claim Jesus first, and that's enough for me. Others live on wealth and pride. I'm poor but satisfied. Red Jehovah on this world, don't you see? Underneath his loving wing, I'm happy as a king. I claim Jesus first, and that's enough for me.
Yes, and she still doesn't get enough recognition for being one of the true originators of rock and roll. Sister Rosetta Tharpe, and we heard her there, recorded in September 1946, on a Thomas A. Dorsey composition, I Claim Jesus First. And that was specially for listener Sam Griffiths, who emailed through the contact button on my website for some Sister Rosetta Tharpe. To be more precise, Sister Rosetta, okay, she may have been singing gospel, but specifically, it was her guitar playing that helped lay down the foundations of rock and roll. And what an inventive guitarist she was. Just listen again to that solo in the piece we just heard. Now, a couple of programmes back, you'll remember a fine kitchen session by Greg Bryce, that young hotshot guitarist and singer from Warwickshire. He has a passion for all things Louisiana, and he has a voice that's somewhere between that of Lowell George and Lyle Lovett. He left us with a copy of his debut album recently released, and it's just called Greg Bryce. From it, the opening track, Work for a Living.
But you kill yourself working when you work for the living, when you work for a living. I knew men who taught me how not to live